I masturbate so much with hand cream, I forget people use it for shit other than masturbating.
Literally, when I'm in public and I see someone pull out hand cream, I'm like, this guy's about to jerk off.
Can I ask you something? Is your act just designed to make sure no girl will ever sleep with you again? All you fucking talk about is jacking off and farting. You think a girl's gonna come up to you after the show? Oh, could you just jack off of me and then fart in my face? It's fucking insane. Do you want to get laid ever?
I wanted to do like a mentor idea because, you know, a lot of older comedians were nice to both of us.
That's right, we always hung with those guys.
But they were always nice to us, so there was no story that I had to tell.
Nobody we knew back in the day was like George, the way he treats Ira.
Hey, can you help me with some of my jokes when I drop you off later?
Help you with some of your bits?
Yeah.
No, I'm not gonna help you, man. No one helped me when I started. Fucking, I'm not paying to help you. I'm paying you to help me.
You're right.
I wasn't like you. You knew your comedy. You knew. I know my comedy history pretty good. I loved it my whole life, but you had another look at it. You knew your comedy. You were fascinated by writers, and you gave it up to a lot of people.
This is Paul Reiser, and you're listening to Club Comedy on WKWZ with Mr. Judd Apatow. Those of you who are not familiar, Club Comedy is comedy on 3 pieces of bread with bacon and tomato. It's $1 more, but frankly, it's worth it.
When I was 15 years old, I was in 10th grade, and I wanted to meet comedians because I worship them. So I created a radio show where I interviewed comics. The great thing about meeting all these comedians and interviewing them when I was in high school was I was able to say to them, how do you do it?
You know, the whole thing to do in comedy is finding a common bond with people in the audience.
How do you sell a movie?
You sometimes lose track of, you know, what's funny because you don't get any, you don't have anyone laughing in the background when you're filming a shot, really.
Well, you have all your instincts. You have all your experience with what people have laughed at before, and you have what you think is funny, and you got your producer and someone from the studio and the extras and 100 people on the crew, and it's like an audience.
How do you write a joke?
How would you describe the type of humor that you're doing?
I think it's real important for a comic. I think the most important thing a comic can do is write from his insides, and as cliche as that sounds, you have to write from, I think, personal experience pretty much, or your own observation, which is how I write.
And in these tapes were all the answers, and some of the advice I take to this day.
Was it you improvised while you were filming?
Yeah, it was ad-libbed and improvised along the way, and a lot of times they would do the lines and they would just leave the cameras rolling, and you know, you have 5 guys who knew each other pretty well. It was real.
And it made me a much better comic. This afternoon we had some of the great comedians that Adam you know, looked up to when he started, like Carol Leifer, Mark Schiff, George Wallace, Mr. Monty Hoffman, and the great Paul Reiser. And we did a little Broadway Danny Rose scene where they all talked about their careers.
You can talk about anything. Go forward, say. Go back where you were. As if it's Adam.
You doing stand-up at all? This is actually the first time I've left the house in 3 years. Just to come out and see you. It was just, I don't. But I will sometimes in my house in front of my kids, I'll do 5, 6 minutes. Not good stuff. It's a lot of where you're from, you know. Is that your brother or is this a business trip? You know, it doesn't make any sense, but...
That was the best day.
For me, that was one of the most powerful days because getting Bud Friedman, who owned the Improv, to allow you on stage was the dream. And to be making a movie in his club.
He was cool with it. He knows who you are now.
Everybody looking right here. Right here, guys.